Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to the lecture number 31 for the subject of operating systems. In this lecture we are going to discuss another topic that is related to the memory management, and this topic is virtual memory. So here are the objectives of our lecture. We will discuss that why we need virtual memory. I will elaborate the definition of virtual memory, virtual address space, and then we have a technique that is used to implement the virtual memory. This technique is known as demand paging. So we will discuss the demand paging and the project lifecycle within the context of virtual memory and demand paging. Then we will see the definition of page fault and how page faults are handled in a virtual memory system, and to manage the pages or paging, we will see how virtual memory will use the redefined page tables or reformatted page tables. Now the first slide is the background. One thing we all know, that in order to execute a program or in order to execute a process, the process need to be in the memory or RAM. Now what is a process? A process is a collection of instructions and data. So these instructions are also known as code. So you can say that code needs to be in memory or RAM for execution. However, due to the limited capacity or limited size of the RAM, we don't need to place a complete program into the memory. जैसे हमने पहले डिस्कस किया कि जो हमारे पास ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है उसकी अगर हम स्पेस देखें तो वो तकरीबन 7 और 8 प्लस GB है, लेकिन अगर नॉर्मल रैम की बात करें तो हमारे पास 8 GB रैम या 4 GB रैम एग्जिस्ट करती है. सो अगर हम इस बात को देखें कि ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम भी एक सिस्टम लेवल प्रोसेस है और उसको रन करने के लिए रैम की में लोड करना ज़रूरी है. सो इस कंडीशन की बेस पे तो हम ये जज करेंगे कि रैम का साइज़ स्मॉल है, 8 GB है और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम 8 प्लस GB है, तो वो उसमें लोड ही नहीं सकता. सो इस चीज़ को बेसिकली इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, कभी भी कंप्लीट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को मेमोरी में लोड नहीं करते, बल्कि ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम के कुछ पार्ट्स को हम मेमोरी में लोड करते हैं और कुछ पार्ट्स जो हैं वो हार्ड डिस्क पर ही मौजूद रहते हैं. सो दिस इज़ द मेन आइडिया दैट यू विल नॉट लोड एन एंटायर प्रोग्राम इन द मेमोरी. इंस्टेड some parts of the program will be loaded while other will be placed on the disk. Now अब हम देखते हैं कि किन पार्ट्स को हम लोड करेंगे और किन पार्ट्स को हम लोड नहीं करेंगे इनिशियली. The routines or the code that is needed to perform common operations are loaded, or to perform initial operations are loaded, while the error codes or unusual routines that are actually exceptions or traps are not loaded. So it means that entire program code cannot be needed at the same time. Sometime we might need an error handling code, while at other time we will use some unusual routine. और बाज़ औक़ात हमारे पास एक प्रोसेस के कुछ ऐसे पार्ट्स होते हैं जो हमें हर वे में रिक्वायर है. सो किसी भी कोई भी हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि सारे के सारे पार्ट्स हमें एक टाइम पर रिक्वायर है. सो इट मीन्स दैट एंटायर प्रोग्राम कोड नॉट नीडेड एट द सेम टाइम. सो इट मीन्स दैट वी हैव टू एग्जीक्यूट ए पार्शली लोडेड प्रोग्राम. पार्शली लोडेड प्रोग्राम का मतलब है कि कुछ पोर्शंस उसके हमने लोड किए हैं और कुछ पोर्शंस को हमने लोड नहीं किया. दैट इज़ पार्शली लोडेड प्रोग्राम. सो इससे क्या होता है कि अगर आपके पास मेमोरी कम भी हो, फिर भी आप इस चीज़ पर लिमिटेड नहीं है कि आप प्रोसेस लोड नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि आप प्रोसेस के पार्ट्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो रैम लिमिटेड भी है, फिर भी आप प्रोसेस को पार्ट बाय पार्ट लोड कर सकते हैं. सो इन दिस वे ईच प्रोग्राम और ए प्रोसेस टेक्स लेस मेमोरी वाइल रनिंग, क्योंकि हमें कम्प्लीटली लोड नहीं करना पड़ता. So if each program is taking less memory, it means we are having memory efficient processes. So more processes or programs can be accommodated in the same time. So this results in increased RAM utilization. CPU utilization, and even the throughput of system without increasing the response time or turnaround time. So in this case, less input output is needed to load or swap a program into memory. So each user program runs faster as it requires less input and output transfer. Now what is virtual memory? Virtual memory is a technique that enables to execute a process that is not completely present in the memory or RAM. In other words, you can say that virtual memory is a technique that enables to execute a partially loaded process into the memory. To use a virtual memory, our memory management systems should use non-contiguous memory allocations, because the parts of program are loaded while other parts of program are kept in the memory. So these parts can be loaded into different memory areas. So that's why virtual memory system uses non-contiguous memory allocation. So in this way, the processes that are larger than the RAM size can also be accommodated and executed effectively. How these processes can be accommodated? Process have active and passive parts. The parts that are active reside in the memory, while those parts that are actually passive or not needed keep residing on the disk or backing store. So whenever a part is needed, it can be swapped in the memory, and whenever a part is not needed, it can be swapped out of the memory. So virtual memory uses backing store area and it is not covered under the file system. So अगर आप लिनक्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को इंस्टॉल करें तो उसके इंस्टॉलेशन सेटअप में जब जहाँ पर आप पार्टीशंस क्रिएट करेंगे वो आपसे स्वैप फाइल स्पेस भी पूछेगा. नाउ स्वैप फाइल स्पेस doesn't come in any file system. So what is virtual memory? It separates the user logical memory from physical memory. As the name suggests that memory is virtual, so it means that this memory exists on the backing store. So this is user logical memory or virtual memory or logical address space, while the RAM is known as physical memory or absolute memory. In other words, using the part of hard disk as a virtual RAM is known as virtual memory. This is another definition of virtual memory. So when you are working with virtual memory system, you are actually using some part of your storage device like hard disk as a part of as a virtual RAM. Now let us see how we can find the virtual memory option in Windows 7 operating system. So इसके लिए आप सिंपली माई कंप्यूटर पर जाएं, माई कंप्यूटर की प्रॉपर्टीज़ ओपन करें, यू गो टू एडवांस सिस्टम सेटिंग्स एंड यू विल सी द परफॉर्मेंस टैब. इट इंक्लूड्स विजुअल इफेक्ट्स, प्रोसेसर, scheduling, memory usage and virtual memory. So go to the settings. So here you will see advanced setting. So this is a total paging file size. Go to the change menu and uncheck this option to manually define the page file size. For every drive you can clearly see the space available and you can put custom initial size and maximum file size to set a virtual memory. However, operating system has used these information for this purpose that are optimal settings. So अगर आप change करना चाहें तो आप इनको change कर सकते हैं. Now in virtual memory, only the part of program that is needed is present in the memory. So it means that the logical address space for a process can be much larger than the physical address space, because the logical address space will contain a list of pages, and while the physical address space will contain some of the pages. Now this allows the address space or physical address space to be shared by several processes at the same time. So what we get? We get efficient process creation. We have a number of concurrent programs running in the memory, and less input and output is needed to load or swap the processes, because we are working with parts, not complete processes. Swapping a complete process requires more I/O and more I/O time, while swapping a single part or single page requires less input and output and less time. Now, what is virtual address space? A virtual address space is the logical view of how processes or a process is stored in the memory. Now, virtual address space starts as address 0 and assumes that a program is given contiguous addresses until the end of the space. However, in physical memory, the pages are organized in the form of frames, and these frames are allocated in a non-contiguous manner. So, this mapping is done by the memory management unit. Now, virtual memory can be implemented in two ways, using demand paging and demand segmentation. So, take a look at this example. We have a virtual memory containing different pages. Then we have a physical memory containing different pages actually in the RAM. And then we have a backing store that also provides detail of different pages. And this is the memory map that defines, or a page table that defines the pages and equivalent frames in the memory. So, this is basically the mechanism to implement virtual memory for a process that is larger than the physical memory. Now virtual address space usually design logical address space for stack and heap. Stack and heap contain data items. Now, these stack and heap continue to grow down and grow up. Now, a stack grows up downward and heap grows upward. So, this maximizes the address space usage. So, any unused address space between these two is known as a hole. Now, we have a technique that is known as demand paging. Now, what is demand paging? Demand paging brings a page into memory only when it is needed. So, we require less input and output, we require less memory consumption, we get faster response for our processes, and we can accommodate more user processes at the same time, more users or more processes. So, demand paging is similar to a paging system. ट्रेडिशनल पेजिंग सिस्टम ये डिफ़ाइन किया था, हमने प्रीवियस लेक्चर में देखा था कि हम किसी भी प्रोसेस के पेज साइज़ कैलकुलेट करेंगे, उसके इक्वल नंबर ऑफ़ फ्रेम्स बनाएंगे और उसके सारे पेजेस को फ्रेम में लोड कर देंगे। ये आपके पास क्लासिकल पेजिंग थी। बट डिमांड पेजिंग हमें ये सजेस्ट करती है कि एक पेज को तभी मेमोरी में लोड किया जाएगा जब वो पेज रिक्वायर होगा। हम इनिशियली कभी भी उस पेज को मेमोरी में लोड नहीं करेंगे ताकि फ्रेम कंज्यूम ना हो। सो व्हेन एवर ए CPU needs a page, it creates the logical address or creates a reference to it. If the references are in memory or in the same page, then there is no problem. If the reference is invalid, the operation is aborted. However, if the reference is not in the memory, the page is brought into the memory frames. Now we have a term lazy swapper. Now a lazy swapper never swaps a page into memory unless page will be needed. अगर आपके पास मेमोरी के फ्रेम्स फ्री भी हों, लेज़ी स्वैपर ने कभी भी पेजेस को फ्रेम में लोड नहीं करना जब तक वो पेज रेफरेंस नहीं किया जाएगा। जब पेज रिक्वायर होगा, जब उसको रेफरेंस किया जाएगा, तभी उसको मेमोरी में लेज़ी स्वैपर लोड करेगा। So swapper that deals with the pages is called a pager. Now this is the demand paging. We have the main memory and we have the logical memory containing pages of two different processes. We have two programs, program A and program B. Now let's suppose program A has total 11 pages and program B has these number of pages. You can clearly see ये टोटल 24 पेजेस हैं। हम इनको इजीली इस रैम में अकोमोडेट नहीं कर सकते, तो हमने क्या किया, जो पेजेस हमें रिक्वायर हैं उनको लोड कर लिया और जो हमें रिक्वायर नहीं है वो मेमोरी में वापस रहेंगे। Now whenever a pages are not required, that are swapped out to the backing store, and whenever we need new pages, the pages are swapped in from the backing store into the main memory. Now here are different concepts of demand paging. In demand paging, a pager guesses which pages will be used before swapping out again. So you can say that a pager brings only those pages into the memory that are needed. So we need memory management unit functionality to be altered to implement demand paging. So if the pages needed are already memory resident, then there is no difference. Your demand paging is same as the traditional paging. However, if the page needed are not in the memory, the memory management unit needs to detect and load the concerned pages from the storage without changing program behavior, without terminating the program, and without needing a programmer to provide the details in the source code. So this has to be done by the memory management unit. Now what is the typical life cycle of a process? Whenever a process is initiated, operating system loads at least one page in the RAM, that is the initial page. Now this page can contain a number of instructions. Now these instructions are executed one by one, and as you already know, as these instructions are loaded into the RAM, so each instruction can have its own physical memory address. So CPU keeps on generating the logical addresses, and the memory management unit converts these logical addresses into physical addresses. So this execution continues till memory reference to instruction are within the page. यानी जब तक जो फिजिकल एड्रेसेस हैं वो करंट पेज के ही होंगे जो हमने लोड किया, तब तक तो कोई इशू नहीं है. ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इंस्ट्रक्शंस को प्रोवाइड करता जाएगा और CPU एग्जीक्यूट करता जाएगा. However, if memory referenced is not in the same page, this causes a condition that is known as page fault. We will discuss the definition of page fault in the later lectures. Now whenever a page fault occurs, this generates an interrupt and signals the memory management unit to load the required page. Now this is called demand paging, that whenever a page is required, it is loaded into the memory. So OS or operating system allocates the page on the virtual memory and load the demanded page into the free frames of the memory so that the execution can resume. Now when page is loaded, execution continues in the same manner. और अगर फिर पेज फॉल्ट अगर करे, फिर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम क्या करेगा, पेजेस को डिटेक्ट करेगा और रैम में ब्रॉड करेगा. सो व्हेन एवर ए प्रोसेस टर्मिनेट्स और फिनिशेस इट्स एग्जीक्यूशन, it is wiped off the memory. It means that memory frames get free, and similarly virtual memory pages also become free to accommodate other processes as well, as we have limited virtual memory space too. Now here is the example of demand paging. We have three processes: process A, process B and process C. Process A has 6 pages, process B has 7 pages and process C has 4 pages. So we have total of 17 pages, but the memory space available is only for pages less than the total number of pages. So it means that we will not load all the pages of each process. Instead we will load some pages of each process that are needed. For example, for process A we need only 3 pages, 1, 2 and 5. So these pages are loaded into different areas of the memory. So this is non-contiguous. इस तरह प्रोसेस बी से हमें 3 पेजेस रिक्वायर, पेजेस 1, पेज 4 एंड पेज 7. सो इसको भी हमने B1, B7 और B4 में लोड कर दिया. दिस इज अगेन नॉन कंटिगुअस. Similarly for process C we also require 3 pages initially, that are page 2, page 3 and page 4. So these are loaded into different areas of the memory. So जब ये process पेज 1, पेज 2 को एग्जीक्यूट कर लेगा और इसको कोई नया पेज रिक्वायर होगा, हम उस पेज को मेमोरी में ले आएंगे. सो दिस इज डिमांड पेजिंग. नाउ व्हाट इज़ ए पेज फॉल्ट? if a page is referenced, first of all the memory management unit will check if the referenced address is in the same page or not. If the reference address is not in the same page, operating system will generate an interrupt, and this interrupt is known as the page fault. So now whenever a page fault occurs, operating system looks into a table to find out if the pages are there or not. If we have invalid reference, the process is aborted. If the process are not in the memory or pages are not in the memory, operating system finds out the free frames in the memory and finds out the required pages on the backing store and swap these pages into the frames using a disk scheduling operation. And after swapping this, the execution of the process is restarted. सो जो हम टेबल की बात कर रहे थे वो ये टेबल है. पेज टेबल को हमने मॉडिफाई किया. प्रीवियसली मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट में हमने डिस्कस किया था कि पेज टेबल में दो ही चीज़ें, एक फ्रेम नंबर और एक पेज नंबर. बट वी हैव अनदर कॉलम दैट इज नोन एज वैलिड इनवैलिड बिट. वी विल डिस्कस दीज बिट्स लेटर ऑन इन द lecture. Now these are the steps for handling a page fault. So whenever CPU generates a reference, this reference is checked into the page table. If it is present in the page table, the page is provided. If it is not present in the table, operating system generates an interrupt. Operating system checks for the page table on the backing store and then finds out the free frame and brings these pages into the frames. And whenever these pages are brought into memory frames, the page table is changed, and after changing the page table, the required address or required page area is provided into the CPU and the instruction is restarted. So this is basically your CPU generating the logical addresses. This is your modified page table, and this is your physical memory, and this is your backing store. So this is the way the page faults are handled in an operating system. Now here we have different aspects of demand paging. Now we have an extreme case. जैसे हमने पहले डिस्कस किया कि ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एटलीस्ट एक पेज लोड करेगा, लेकिन अगर एक पेज भी लोड ना करे तो फिर क्या होगा? फिर जैसे ही वो प्रोसेस एग्जीक्यूट करना शुरू करेगा, उसकी पहली इंस्ट्रक्शन एग्जीक्यूट होनी होगी और वो पेज मेमोरी में होगा ही नहीं, तो पहले इंस्ट्रक्शन पर ही पेज फॉल्ट अकर करेगा. और अगर ये पॉलिसी हर प्रोसेस पर इम्प्लीमेंट कर दी जाए तो हर प्रोसेस को जब इनिशिएट किया जाएगा तो पेज फॉल्ट अकर करेगा. सिमिलरली ए गिवन इंस्ट्रक्शन कैन हैव मल्टीपल पेजेस. नाउ दिस प्रॉब्लम इज सॉल्व्ड विद द हेल्प ऑफ लोकेलिटी ऑफ रेफरेंस. Now this is a concept, but you need to search out the definition of locality of reference on the internet to see what is it. In order to support demand paging, we have three hardware support. First one is the page table with invalid and valid bit. Second one is the secondary memory, swap device or swap space, and the third one is instruction restart. Now what is page table with valid and invalid bit? हमने मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम में देखा था कि जो पेज टेबल है उसमें हमारे पास दो एंट्रीज हैं, एक फ्रेम नंबर और एक पेज नंबर. बट इन दिस सिनेरियो आवर पेज टेबल विल कंटेन एन एडिशनल एंट्री दैट इज़ नोन एज वैलिड इनवैलिड बिट दैट इंडिकेट्स द स्टेटस ऑफ ए पेज और ए फ्रेम. सो ईच पेज टेबल एंट्री हैज़ ए वैलिड इनवैलिड बिट एसोसिएटेड. Now the term V means that the reference generated by the CPU exists in the memory, it is memory resident, and the value I indicates that the reference generated by the CPU is not in the memory, that means invalid. So this is the example of a typical page table snapshot that is used in virtual memory systems. So during the address translation, if valid invalid bit of the page table entry is I, this indicates a page fault, and if the entry is V, this indicates a page hit. Now here we have a performance of demand paging. There are different stages in the demand paging. First of all, whenever a page is demanded, operating system is interrupted. Now whenever operating system is interrupted, user registers and process state are saved in order to handle the interrupts. Now the operating system finds out that the interrupt was a page fault, because we have hundreds of interrupt and interrupt handling mechanisms. So after finding out the type of interrupt, operating system ये चेक करता है कि जो पेज रेफरेंस किया है वो लीगल है or not. If it is not legal, then the operation is aborted, and if it is legal, then operating system determines whether it is in RAM or not. Now if the process or page is in the memory, it is provided to the central processing unit. However, if it is not present, the operating system has to locate the page on the virtual memory area. Now the issue is, we can read the disk pages, but we have to find a free frame in order to load this page. So for this, we can ask a process to wait in a queue until the page is loaded into the memory. Similarly, we can transfer the page if we have a free frame. If another pages are being transferred, so we can have to wait for our turn. So while waiting, in order to utilize CPU properly, we can allocate CPU to some other processes. Now during this, a CPU can also, or an operating system can receive an interrupt from an disk IO system. So again, the registers and process state are saved, type of interrupt is determined, page table is corrected, and show that the pages are in the memory. Now these process step 10 and step 5 are linked. Meantime, when we are waiting for a free frame, the CPU can be executing other instructions. So whenever other instruction is interrupted, there is a possibility that in the meantime the current process or the previous process जिसके हम पेजेस को फाइंड आउट कर रहे थे वो मेमोरी में लोड हो गया. सो अगर वो लोड हो जाएंगे तो उनके पेज टेबल को करेक्ट करेंगे, ये पेजेस सीपीयू को एलोकेट करेंगे. सीपीयू पहले प्रोसेस के रजिस्टर्स को रीस्टोर करेगा, प्रोसेस स्टेट को रीस्टोर करेगा, न्यू पेज को रेफरेंस करेगा और इंटरप्टेड इंस्ट्रक्शन को एलोकेट करना या एग्जीक्यूट करना स्टार्ट कर देगा.